Hey everybody, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is an updated another market radar plus another best bet going into Thursday and Friday. We'll call this a video that covers the last 2 days of the week, which would be November 19th and 20th. We've been kicking butt this week, and I want to just kind of review what got us here fast. All right, let's start off looking at the S&P cash chart. Very simple. We had our daily stochastic rotation. It has happened every single time for the last 10 years. Basically, we've bounced pretty aggressively off of this type of setup. And I've done a lot of videos just tracking that in itself. There's other things at play here, but there's definitely a correlation between the oversold and the of course, in this case is what we're looking at, the oversold level and buy signals. Each one of these has and we concentrate on this signal on all multiple time frames. So when you're watching the show, you're seeing us really describe the market's 1 to 5 minute move candles and stuff, and then we talk about the 60-minute candles. But this on the daily thing is just textbook. Basically going out for 2 years, this signal has played out. So it's hard not to go against it. And another thing is we really tackle the time frame on it. Once we have our daily set up, we look at our 60, and the 60 was even perfect. The 60 got oversold here. We had everything was perfect about this. We pulled up, we pulled back right where we expected to pull back to, and then we saw incredible strength, and we had the FOMC minutes today, and everything else led to this point. Now now we called this the musical chair part of the music of the market. We have a nice move. The daily here is still very, very nice. Everything that's going on in the world with the terrorism, the focus on this, the market here rallying pretty good. The rate height is still hanging over our heads. So, you know what? The daily looks great. If we fail on the daily, I think there's a good shot that we actually pull back. But I have a feeling that we're actually going to move a little bit higher off of this. Doesn't mean 100% tomorrow. We're looking for that, but because the hourly is kind of extended. But it's we'll see what kind of news comes out. I want to more talk about important stocks that I think are going to move tomorrow. We've this week's watch list specialized on anti-terrorism stocks, and they are working out great. The best bet of this week was OSIS, and as you can see, it was nothing but spectacular today, and the overall pattern and everything was perfect. We took profits today in this, and that's good. We added to another security stock, which now you're hearing so much about these Syrian guys who were caught in South America, Central America, trying to make their way up into the U.S. The border stocks here, Mago Securities, banging the table on this on the watch list too. This is one we got in on Monday. Continues to break out. Still looks good. I would actually expect this one to make that momentum play. I'm starting to see more and more focus on these stocks, on the security, on the border now, how people are going to get into America. This stock is just going to come into focus. Like I said, the last couple of videos I released, I did the description. I'm not going to go back into the description. Just know that we're in it, and I would probably expect some upside tomorrow. I think there's a good shot that this gets some upside tomorrow. Now, best bets for tomorrow, there's about 4 stocks right now I'm really, really paying attention to. Darden Restaurants, a nice downward little wedge pattern, textbook wedge pattern. Started coming back at the end of the day. I wanted to see this thing close above 54.10. We chopped around and we ended up closing right underneath the 54 level, but not that bad. We're going to start off tomorrow with our 5-minute stochastic starting to turn back up, close out near the highs of the session. And one thing I want to point out here, and this is why this one is up there as one of the best bets for tomorrow. It's a toss-up, really. But one of the reasons, argument here, is we determined there was a little divergence starting here on the 5-minute chart from this point on, right here. We started to see this divergence from this little candle, the reversal, and we started grinding up. But not much. But we rotated back down here. And what I like to do sometimes is just check the other time frames and see if that divergence carries over. Because the longer it carries, the bigger time frames it carries, and we actually start to see it did carry over here. Here's your 15-minute time frame. So this is going out a little bit further. Different type of candles, different type of time frame, and we have that divergence there. Then I went to the 60. I went to the 30. Actually, I could see it in 30, but I wanted to show you the 60. And the 60 was really, I think, really key here. You could start to see an easy divergence playing out in the 60. Even though this low here, I'm just going to make sure. I think the low was pretty close. 53.58, 53.60, 53.59, 53.77. What is that? 53.77. That's even doesn't even look like the low there. 53.58. Anyway, this looks like one of the lowest, or just looks like at least a double bottom, or at least a little lower low. You're starting to see it play out on the 60. I like the 60 a lot. The bigger pattern, so the 60 is good, and the big pattern, the daily, is just kind of oversold again. We're hanging off this trend line. It feels like there's trying to get this thing going, but we have, once we start to see it going, I think we're going to get back up to the 200 period moving average and retake that 58 area. So it's up there, but I also want to watch Rider tomorrow. Rider's another nice wedge pattern. And again, just the same thing, 60-minute daily. Daily starting to turn back up. 60 minutes actually hanging in there. Not much going on here, but I think it's perfect. So we're watching Darden, watching Rider, and the CSX. We that was the best bet for today. Worked out good. Might even see a little bit more follow through on the railroads. These were divergences also, and a big pop here on CSX. So, I want to try to keep the best bets coming to you. As long as I see, pretty high, high level of, good pattern setup and something that we start to see some good setups. I want to do these special videos and throw them out there and keep that streak going. All right. So again, there was a couple other ones. I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm doing this video down in the dungeon, and so I wanted to go through it in my head. So we have that one. We have the. Let me just double check here. We did the security stocks, the CSX, the Darden, the Rider. We're going to see how the retail. If retail starts to bounce tomorrow, we're going to get a follow through on Bed Bath & Beyond, possibly a follow through on Kohl's. That's actually putting in the divergence here. These are starting to look a lot better now. And there was one more I forgot, but it was Rider, Darden Restaurants. I think there was one more I wanted to do, but I'll I'll update you tomorrow in the chat room. I needed to get my notes out and have them there. And the security stocks. I actually think the MAGS is really going to move tomorrow. We also have some other anti-terrorist stocks that I'm in, and I'm just waiting for those to move. I'm thinking more of the screeners. I actually got into a new one today. We did get into a new one today. Do I have it written down here on my notes here? That was EI. What was it? It was Anyway, I'll talk about it in the morning. The important thing is just want to get this out. Make sure you understand that Rider, Darden Restaurants, Brinker could even fall into that. Going to be in focus tomorrow, plus Maggle, Securities MAGS. And then there'll be one more that I'll make an announcement in the morning. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Just wanted to touch base. All right. I actually remember those stocks now. I went to look them up, and then I came back, so restarted the video here. So it's the other one was the WDC here, Western Digital. Got into this yesterday. Both of these are looking pretty good. Almost a slight divergence happening here too. Starting to like everything about this. I like it. It's been cut down pretty good, off the 200 period moving average, off to 20, off to 50, lower part of the trend line. Looking back at the analyst reports and stuff, there's actually some positive comments coming out on this with their acquisition of SanDisk. So this looks great. This is actually one of my best bets also. So I would say Rider, Darden, WDC, top three for tomorrow. This looks really, really nice. The daily's just starting to move. 60's probably extended a bit, but we consolidated nice today. We didn't sell off. It looks pretty good. I'm excited about this next couple of days in these three stocks. They're going to move soon. All right, that's it. I'll see you in the markets tomorrow morning.